Please like this video. I really need your support right now. It's the only way this story can reach more people. Thank you so much for being here with me and for your support. The first odd thing was silence. Not the usual meetings ran long silence, but the kind where a phone looks alive, blue ticks, delivered, no reply, and a day unloads itself without a single made it. Not even a tired emoji she uses when she lands. By late afternoon, the delivery app pinged my email with a receipt to her room in Seattle. Not dinner hour, either. Late. I texted, kept it short. Everything good? Read. Nothing. I stood in my garage in Austin, still in my work boots, checking flight times with one hand and the rolling tool chest with the other, the way I always do when I'm thinking. 17 years together, and I know her pattern. Even when she's buried, she drops a line at lunch. She didn't. The project she's handling is big, but not bigger than basic respect. So I made a clean decision. I bought a ticket for the morning and booked a room at her hotel. No announcement. If I'm wrong, we laugh, we eat. She pretends to be mad for a minute. We're fine. If I'm right, I won't need a speech. I'll just need a plan. If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have slept on the plane. I didn't. I was wide awake, counting steps I'd take if the facts clicked the way they smelled. I landed to drizzle and coffee that tasted like cardboard. The Westin lobby ran on soft jazz and carpet that swallows footfall. I asked for my reservation and kept my face calm. The front desk attendant was young, polite, and nervous around suits, which worked for me because I wasn't in one. 2 nights, he read. King bed. Same floor as your, oh. I lifted an eyebrow. Anything else I can help with? He tried to smile. We're pretty full with a conference. Is Laura Bennett checked in? I asked like I was asking about the weather. I'm hoping to surprise her. He hesitated, glanced at his monitor, then me. Sir, I shouldn't. You just did. I told him, easy tone. You said same floor. I appreciate you trying not to. He swallowed, lowered his voice. Her room shows a +1 for the stay. I didn't blink. Got it. I'm not supposed to. You won't hear a complaint from me. I slid my ID back into my wallet. Give me my keys. He passed the envelope like it burned. I took a slow breath and walked to the elevators. No theater. Just facts. Upstairs, the carpet had that hotel hush. I tried her first. Straight to voicemail. Texted, here for the weekend. Then, you free for dinner? Read, nothing. I stood outside 1812 and listened. Through the door, a low male voice. Music from a laptop, generic playlist. A laugh that wasn't hers, or was, filtered through something I didn't like. I typed, I'm at your door. I heard quick steps. The lock clicked. The door opened 2 inches. Laura in a hotel robe, hair wet. The smile she used for clients, the one that hits 3 seconds late. Ethan, what are you doing here? You should have told me. I rocked on my heels once. Had a thought we'd do dinner. Her eyes flicked behind her. 5 minutes, okay? I need to get dressed. We have a client dinner. Big deal. Don't make, just give me 5. A man stepped into view behind her, short on buttons, from the side room. He stopped when he saw me. I didn't know Laura was married, he said. It wasn't smug. It was flat, like a fact he'd just learned and didn't like owning. I studied him like I study a machine I might have to shut down. Name, Daniel. Chicago office. Good. Put on a jacket, Daniel. The hall is cold. Laura pushed him out with her palm, tried to block the view with her shoulder. Ethan, it's not what. Don't ruin the sentence. I cut her off. It's exactly what it looks like, minus the parts one don't need to see. You flagged +1 on your room. You told someone you're available. You've been quiet for a day. Do I have that right? She tightened the belt on the robe. The +1 is for a client liaison. It's admin. Your admin wears his shirt with one hand. I shifted my weight, tired more than angry. I don't need commentary. I need clarity. Daniel cleared his throat like he wanted to add a footnote, then thought better of it. Step out. I told him, not loud, not soft. He stepped into the hall, eyes on the carpet. The door swung wider. 2 long-stem glasses with red wine sat by the laptop. Her carry-on was open, clothes mixed, not how she packs for a work week. A heel under the chair that didn't match the pair she wears to boardrooms. Laura angled her body like she could block all of it. I'm going to get dressed, and we're going to the dinner, she said. If I miss it, the firm loses millions. Do you understand me? Don't turn this into a scene. Laura, I answered, don't shift the bill for your choices to my back. You built a scenario. I walked into it. That's all. Her mouth tightened. You have always been. Careful, I said. Pick the next word like your job depends on it. Let me pause the story for just a second. If you're still here, please hit the like button. It really helps YouTube recommend this story to more people. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the story. She reached for the door, like she could wrap this in housekeeping. Give me 5. I'll explain. We'll talk like adults. We will, I nodded. Tomorrow. Daylight. Lobby. We'll discuss keys and what goes where. Her head jerked. What? Behind me, Daniel's voice was small. I'll head down. Good plan, I told him. Use the stairs. Fresh air is good for the head. Laura tried again, softer. Ethan, don't blow up my work because you showed up unannounced. I don't blow up, I said. I adjust. She watched me like I'd stepped behind a glass wall. I left them in the hallway and went to my room. I changed the return flight to the morning. Canceled the dinner reservation I'd made for us when I still believed this trip had a point. Sent one text to Laura. Tomorrow noon in the lobby. No drama. Then I opened my laptop and did adult work. I paused our shared bill autopays. I rerouted my direct deposit to the account with my name only. I moved the backup keys from their hook in my head to her hands tomorrow. When you build machines for a living, you respect clean shutoffs. No sparks, no smoke. Just off. Around 11, the elevator chimed. I stepped out for ice, and she caught me near the bank of metal doors. Hair dry now, suit on. We need to speak, she said. I already told you when, I replied. Now, she pushed. I can't sleep like this. That's not my problem to solve. I scooped ice, the bucket loud on purpose. Tomorrow. Public. Noon. She lowered her voice. Ethan, please. Don't be petty. Don't do the thing where you cut me off. I looked at the ice like it had a map. Tomorrow, Laura. She stepped closer. I made a mistake. I'll fix it. You didn't make a typo, I said. You built a system. We'll talk when the sun's up. I walked away. The doors slid closed on her face and the reflection of a man who'd finally stopped asking for normal. By morning, I'd showered and watched the skyline shrug off rain. I sat in the cafe with a black coffee and a bagel I didn't taste. A couple from Spokane argued about hiking boots at the next table. Good. Noise is helpful. Laura arrived on time, which told me what mattered to her today. She wore the pale suit she keeps for meetings that decide titles. She sat without a hello. You ambushed me. You disappeared, I answered. That's worse. She folded her hands like a class exercise. It started months ago. We met in Chicago at a conference. We kept in touch. It was a mistake. I've been under pressure. I feel unseen. You're always busy. I thought if I had. I raised a palm. Don't hand me the brochure. Let's keep this to facts. Her jaw set. Fine. I should have told you. I wanted the account clean. Clients don't want drama. My role requires flexibility. Dinners, late nights. If I look tied down, I lose access. So you edited your life? I said. You marked +1. You told a coworker you were free. You moved your schedule to hide from me. That's not a single slip. That's a plan. She glanced around at the people in the cafe. Lower your voice. It's already low. I leaned back. I'm not here to perform. We're here to close out logistics. We're going to live apart. I'm freezing joint spending until we decide the rest. Her eyes flashed. You can't just. I can, and I did. I slid a small envelope across the table. Garage opener. Spare set. You'll give me yours. She stared at it like it would bite. Is there a way we don't torch 17 years because you showed up on a bad night? We don't torch anything, I said. We document it. You built a new version of yourself without telling me. That's your right. I have mine. Therapy, she said quickly. Couples work. Give me a set of sessions. I'll cancel Chicago next month. I'll set boundaries with Daniel. You'll see I'm serious. Trust isn't a project plan. When it leaves, it doesn't leave a forwarding address. I finished the coffee, not because I wanted it, but because endings need anchors. We'll split things clean. I'll be gentle about timelines. But the relationship part is done. Her face changed shapes. I need time to get my head back. Don't announce anything to anyone yet. Let me land the account. After this week, we'll. There won't be an after, I said. You can tell your story how you like in your world. I'll tell mine in mine, and it will be short. A man from her team. I'd seen him in the lobby, walked by and nodded, unsure if he should greet her. She gave him a tight smile. Good. Witnesses help. Laura took a breath. You're punishing me because you feel powerless. No, I stood. I'm resetting the machine so it stops chewing me up. Noon tomorrow you can put your things in the guest room. I'll be out. Then we talk calendars. That's the only extension I'm offering. She looked up, voice small for the first time. You can't even hear me. I heard you months too late. I left the envelope on the table. Don't be late with my keys. As I stepped away, she reached out and put her hand on my sleeve, soft. Ethan, please. I'm scared. I paused 1 second. So am I. That's why I'm doing it this way. I walked out into the lobby's controlled air. The front desk attendant saw me and looked like he wanted to apologize for the previous day. I gave him a nod that told him he was fine. Back upstairs I packed before I could think. No rage packing, no tossing. I'm an engineer. I coil cords and fold shirts even when the room's on fire. I sent a short email to my boss. I'll be working remote on Monday. I booked a mid-morning flight back. Then I did the other job. I canceled 2 weekend plans that involved both of us and texted my friend Mike I'd be driving the old pickup to his shop to leave it for a tune-up. That shop is where we've talked about everything that matters. If a conversation can't survive the smell of brake cleaner, it's not worth having. The elevator doors opened again, of course, before checkout. Laura stood there with a paper bag and a look she uses when she wants to be the person I first met. I brought you breakfast, she said. The bag smelled like butter and sugar. You've eaten? Take it for the flight. That's considerate, I allowed. She swallowed. And I told Daniel we were done talking. It was a wrong direction. I made a call to my manager to add a boundary to travel protocol. You were right. I didn't protect us. I'm fixing it. First softening. The gentle one. I waited and set it back on the shelf. Good housekeeping, I said. It won't change the decision. We can rebuild, she tried. I will earn it back. I'll be fully transparent. You'll have my calendar, my phone. Passwords don't build respect, I replied. Behavior does. You used yours. I'm using mine. Don't be like this. The hallway swallowed her voice. You're making a point. I'm making a change. I accepted the bag because rejecting a pastry doesn't make me stronger. I thanked her because manners don't cost me. We rode down together in silence, side by side, lives moving in different shafts of metal. On the flight home, I made a list. I run on lists. The first column was logistics, utilities, cars, the dog walker, the lawn guy. The second was time. Who gets which weekends when the split becomes formal? The third was communications, statement to people who need to know. Both families, 3 lines max. The fourth was my head. Gym at 6, work at 8, no looking back. I don't heal by rereading messages and trying to decode tone. By evening, I pulled into our driveway. The house looked regular, which felt like a trick. I put my bag by the door and walked through the place, not to mourn but to catalog. I took the framed photos off the hallway shelf and slipped them into a storage box. Not because I hate memory, but because I'm not going to use it as a weapon against myself. I left her office alone. Boundaries cut both ways. Laura got in late. She texted a screenshot of her adjusted flight to prove she was making effort. The message had a heart she never uses for me on workdays. Second softening. The overplay. She walked in with a small overnight and a careful step. We talk, she asked in the doorway. In the morning, I answered, pointing to the printed sheet on the kitchen counter. That's the schedule. I'll be out by 7. You'll have the place to yourself until 9. Your boxes are in the garage. Label what's yours. Her eyes moved to the sheet. You printed me a schedule. Engineer schedule. Keeps us from using volume to make up for logic. She stood there, measuring me. You loved me once. I gave you 17 years of ordinary kindness and stability. I said, love is a verb. You paused it for a project. I'm not a lobby display. She set the overnight down. I'm not the caricature you're painting. I'm not painting, I told her. I'm reading. You wrote it. Give me something to work with. You're hearing me. I lifted my keys from the hook and slid a single house key off the ring. Tomorrow at noon, the lobby. We'll exchange spares. We'll set the outline for the split. We'll tell no lies to friends. That's what I can work with. She took the key like it might cut her. I have a dinner with the team tomorrow, she said, testing if I'd bent. I'm not a slot you swap, I replied. If noon doesn't work, tell your team you have a personal appointment. Adults set priorities. She nodded, lips a hard line. Fine. She went to the guest room. Our hallway sounded different when two people walked it with a yard of air between them. Morning came clean. I hit the gym at 6. Moved weight until my head stopped buzzing. When I got back, Laura was at the table with coffee, blazer on. She looked like a person making a play. I rescheduled the team dinner, she said. Noon is fine. I poured water from the tap. Good. She breathed. I told my manager I needed to rebuild at home. No more late-night sessions. If you can't meet me halfway, you'll regret it. This is your one chance to not blow up your life over a bad week. There it was. The threat behind the kindness. A change of variables, her job, my future, used as leverage. The tone that got her promoted and cost us. Let me pause the story for just a second. If you're still here, please hit the like button. It really helps YouTube recommend this story to more people. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the story. I set the glass down. I don't move under threats. If you're trying to scare me back into place, it won't take. You're impossible, she snapped. You want to feel righteous. You want an audience. You're performing. I pointed to the paper on the counter. Tomorrow you can move your personal files from the office. I'll be with Mike at his shop. If you need extra time, ask. Don't make speeches about chances. Her phone buzzed. She looked at the screen and then at me. It's Daniel, she said, watching for a flinch. He's apologizing for the other night. He didn't know you existed because you never show up. Good. Then he learned 2 things this week. I picked up my wallet. 1, I exist. 2, I know when to stop showing up. She folded her arms. You've been distant for years. You hide and work. You barely look at me. When was the last time you saw me as a woman? Last month on a Saturday when I made you breakfast and you called a client instead of eating it. Last week when I booked dinner and you pushed it for a strategy call. I kept showing up. You kept changing the rules. It was for us, she fired back. For our life. No, I said, putting on my jacket. It was for your version of you. I hope it works out. I won't be here to proofread it. At noon we met in the lobby again, the exact place where I said we would. A couple I'd seen the day before was now checking out, the different kind of tired that comes after too much city in too little time. A bellman rolled a cart past us. The world doesn't pause for private endings. She sat, open with diplomacy. I spoke to Daniel, she said. He misunderstood our dynamic. I've corrected it. There won't be any further communication outside strictly professional lines. Thanks for letting me know, I answered. Keys. She placed her spare on the table. I placed mine. We wrote on a sheet between us. Utilities to split at the end of the month, which Saturday she'd come for her boxes, how to let each other know before stopping by. No raised voices. No bargaining. It was a meeting of 2 people who were better at planning than feeling. Halfway through, she tried one last angle. We don't have to tell people the specifics, she said. It makes me look. We'll tell them exactly this, I said. We grew apart. We're separating. In my circle, I'll add that respect didn't hold. I won't dress it up. I won't smear you. If anyone asks about details, I'll say they're private. That's my line. Keep yours if you want. You're going to humiliate me, she whispered. No, Laura. I'm going to stop humbling myself. She shifted tactics again. If you announce this now, the client will read into it. Let me close the quarter. Then. Your calendar is not my leash, I cut in. I won't let my life be scheduled around your optics. She looked at me like she didn't recognize the person she thought she managed. You're not who I married. I'm the same man with fewer illusions. She stared at the pen in her hand. If I offer to step back for 6 months, will you consider? No. I clicked the pen closed and slid it to her side. We're done soliciting. We're executing. She sat back. You'll regret being this cold. I'm not cold. I'm clear. I stood and lifted my bag. Your +1 isn't a booking note. It's your new lifestyle. Mine is without you. Her eyes gave me a last try at pullback, the one that had worked on clients and assistants and sometimes on me. It didn't land. She gathered the keys like they were coins, looked around the lobby like the room might vote, and found no one interested. I headed for the doors. The front desk guy, same kid, called after me softly, "Sir, check out." All set, I told him. Thank you. I drove to Mike's shop with the radio off. He's 52, grease under the nails, a man who knows torque and silence. He waved me into the bay and let the lift do its work. You look like you finally wrote the manual, he said. wiping his hands. Close, I said. I figured out which parts to throw out. He looked at me, then at the truck. You want me to keep this here a few days? Yeah, I replied. You're my alibi if I need one. He nodded. You need a beer? Water, I said, and a corner to send a few texts. He gave me both. I texted 3 people, my sister, my boss, and our neighbor who waters the plants when we travel. The messages were short, calm, pointed. No drama, just updates. I shut off my phone when the responses started piling up. I don't crowdsource my spine. That night, I slept at Mike's place in the small room where he stores parts. It smelled like rubber and old victories. In the morning, I went home at 7 like I said. Laura was done labeling. The boxes stacked neat in the garage. She was dressed, hair tied, eyes red from sleep she didn't get. I'll get a mover for Saturday, she said, voice even. I'll be out by 9, I answered. You know the alarm code. She watched me put on my boots at the door. You're really doing this? I am. I shrugged into my jacket. You'll be fine. You're good at building stories. Build one that doesn't need me as a prop. She took a step. One hug. No, I said. Not angry. Hugs are for people who still hold each other up. She let her hands fall. I don't want to be the villain in your head. I stood there for a beat, looked at her like a person who had been my best friend and wasn't anymore. I don't cast villains, I said. I read results. She nodded once. Goodbye, Ethan. Take care, Laura. I left the house that morning and didn't look back to check if she was watching from the window. That's a reflex I retired. 2 months later, I closed on a small place south of town with a garage deep enough to hold my projects and quiet enough to hear what I think before someone sells me what I should think. I found a used SUV that runs like a loud clock and a bike that makes the lake feel closer than it is. Mike and I launched a side gig refurbishing old tools for guys who still like to fix things. I sleep well. I wake up early. I don't check a phone for approval. There's a woman I've been seeing, a pediatric nurse who talks like she's got nothing to prove. We go slow. We eat tacos on the tailgate and she laughs with her whole face. She knows I won't be entertaining late-night drama disguised as ambition. She's fine with that. More than fine, actually. She lives in the real world, where you say yes to people you respect and no to the ones who want your backbone as a hanger for their plans. Word came through the grapevine. Austin is big, but not that big. That Laura got her promotion, but lost the account 6 months later when a client changed hands, and the new contact didn't care for off-the-clock charm. People stopped looking at her like she was the story and started looking past her to the next one. It happens. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I made a note the way men who build things make notes. Inputs get outputs. That's it. We haven't spoken since the lobby. We won't. There's nothing left to trade. When people ask why, I say what I always planned to say. We ran out of respect. They nod. The ones who understand, understand. The ones who don't need to. Sometimes on Saturdays, I pull the truck onto the county road before dawn, park by the field where nobody needs me to explain anything, and drink coffee that tastes like coffee. My phone is quiet. My keys are mine. I think about how simple the math was once I stopped trying to bend it. She marked +1 on a hotel screen like she was ordering extra towels. I marked 0 on my life with her. Clean, adult arithmetic. I didn't win. I didn't lose. I stood up. That's enough.